Man, that was a wild finish to that game. Steelers win 26-24. Tyler Luke misses the game-winning field goal. Steelers win the AFC North, and they send the Ravens home. What a game to end the regular season. That fourth quarter was really electric. 27 points from both teams combined. Early on in this game, it looked like the Ravens' run attack was going to be too much for the Steelers. Derrick Henry had 100 rushing yards in that first half. There wasn't much going on in that first half offensively for the Steelers either. They weren't getting anything from their wide receivers or their tight ends, and they were really relying on their running backs and Aaron Rodgers at the line of scrimmage to try to find any kind of holes in this defense to get him down the field, which led him to a field goal and a turnover on downs at their 1 yard line, which, by the way, what a really weird play. You motion the guy away from Gainwell, and Gainwell had no one blocking for him on that outside pitch, and he just gets stuffed by the two Ravens defenders. That was a really weird play call. I mean, I think they should have kicked the points if that was what they're going to draw up. Offensively, the Steelers were able to turn things around in that third quarter, especially after the Kyle Hamilton injury. They were able to do more in the middle, and their running attack was a lot better with Gainwell and Jalen Warren. They were both really physical and breaking a lot of tackles, and the Ravens' run defense was just really bad in this game. They had a lot of success in that third quarter, too, against the Ravens' offense. They were able to get a lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson, which led to an interception by TJ Watt, and they were also doing a good job stopping Derrick Henry in that third quarter. However, the Ravens were really starting to expose the Steelers' back seven in the fourth quarter. I mean, there was 2 times where Zay Flowers goes on a crossing route to the middle of the field, and there is nobody open. And there was a similar play like that in the first quarter that led to a touchdown on a 4th and 1. And the Steelers just could not protect the middle of the field. They gave up so many key big plays. Their secondary was just really rough. I mean, there was a play where Lamar Jackson nearly gets sacked, and it was a one-on-one with Patrick Queen, which led to that touchdown. And they just did not do a good job in the secondary in this game. But it's typical Ravens fashion. This team just, for some reason, cannot catch a break when it comes to just losing in heartbreaking fashion. You score the game-winning touchdown, you think, but then your defense is just getting the ball pushed down on them at the very end of the game, which led to a broken coverage by Awuzie slipping, which led to a Calvin Austin Jr. touchdown. But then Boswell misses the PAT, which gave the Ravens a chance at the very end. And Isaiah Likely caught a big ball, again on a crossing route, and they had an opportunity to win with the game-winning field goal, but they missed the kick. And, John Harbaugh, I'm very confused by why he just had Lamar Jackson take like a 4-yard knee. I don't know why they just didn't give it to Derrick Henry, try to get a couple cheap yards. I didn't understand that play calling. You had a decent amount of time. They also were butchering the clock management at the very end. They called a timeout really kind of late after that Isaiah Likely catch. And it was just one of those moments where it just felt like classic Ravens, classic John Harbaugh, where they're just fumbling at the very end and blowing an opportunity to win a game. And unfortunately, that's happened quite a lot in the past couple of years with this Ravens team. And it's really unfortunate because this is such a fun team to watch when they're at their best. And now we're seeing again this team is going home in heartbreaking fashion. But don't get me wrong, the Steelers shouldn't have won this game either. I mean, they had typical Steelers stuff with bad defense, getting away with luck with the missed field goal, just things we've seen with the Steelers too. I mean, this game was just typical bullshit from both teams. I mean, the Steelers, they called 2 timeouts on that red zone at the very end of the game, and that could have cost them big time. This game was just peak Ravens and Steelers 2025, and I'm here for it, to be honest, man. I mean, as for the Steelers, I don't think anybody really believes this is a team that can make a playoff push. I mean, they were horrible against the Browns last week, but they do get DK Metcalf back after the 2-game suspension, and that will help them against the Texans, which has one of the best defenses in the league. But one thing I wanted to talk about too was just what's the future of this Ravens team? There was a lot of questions about Lamar Jackson and his commitment with this team, and are these injuries really that big of a deal, or does he just not want to play for the team? How's his relationship with John Harbaugh? Of course, you've had fans and people in the media speculating if John Harbaugh is going to come back or not. I do believe John Harbaugh will come back to coach if he decides to. I don't think the organization will fire him. I just believe that's going to be the case. He's been there for 16, 17 years. It feels very similar to a Tomlin situation where I think he'll leave when he wants to leave. But both these coaches this year were facing a lot of scrutiny, and a big-time discussion was happening about whether both of these coaches would have a job or not with the way their seasons were going. The Ravens are also going to have to do a lot to fix this defense. I know the defense got better as the season went on, but they really cracked in this game. I mean, they had guys like Calvin Austin Jr. and Adam Thielen at 35 years old cooking their secondary, and that was just a really hard thing to watch. But personally, I think they're going to run it back with Harbaugh and Lamar. I think they'll just try to make some moves in the offseason and in the draft as well. And as for the Steelers, well, you get another winning season. Might not have been the prettiest offensively still. At least you get to go to the playoffs. But anyway, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more football content. Peace.